They're broken down and defeated, deterred, busy and confused, sleeping. You're dying while I wait you till it started. On the journey chosen, wasted, now it's selected. I was so bad, what happened? Fall out of the sky and crush me in my smile. I was so bad, what happened? Fall out of the sky and crush me in my smile. Sober, sad and jaded. They're not coming, they're broken down and defeated. You are dying while I wait you to get started. You are dying while I wait you to get started. I was so bad, what happened? Fall out of the sky, yeah. Crush me in my smile. I was so bad, what happened? Fall out of the sky and crush me in my smile.
I'm a motherfucking unicorn, a one-of-one. The vibe being the love and light, then light and one. My karma is interstellar, I live by truth. Fighting evil, my scars are living proof. Protecting you from the storms with all my might. Love me, I will treat you right. You ever cross me, it's the last thing you'll ever do. With my crown of thorns, I'll wreck you. I ain't playing, yo, Bryan hard, call me insane. Too bad Chris, because Bigfoot knows my name. I'm a messenger of God, with loyalty I serve. Taking out all evil with his holy word. A true Knights Templar, sword in hand. Slice you up, bury you in the sand. I'm a motherfucking unicorn, you'll never find anyone like me. Born in the Bronx, raised in NYC. So listen up, take heed. I float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. A true Knights Templar, sword in hand. Slice you up, bury you in the sand. I'm a motherfucking unicorn, you'll never find anyone like me. Born in the Bronx, raised in NYC. So listen up, take heed. I float like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Welcome to Third Eye Live, Wednesday, March 18th, 2026. Sponsored by hydroxyzine, PAM, 25 milligram caplets. Just only joking. We're not sponsored by that. But it's good to see Jen is in chat right now because Mark Eddy was a little bit, worried. And we needed a nurse, someone who may have medical experience for the big question, can you get shingles on your nads? So if you can write that answer in chat for Mark, that would be great. Hi, Jaquette. Welcome. We've got a good show. It's spring break, and I got two kids. Well, two just ATM wanting money kids, whatever. Like, and when you have girls, it's I want that dad, and I want that dad, and I want that dad, and I want, it's insane. But we just came back from a little mini spring break. It was great for 2 days. We were on the West Coast. And when I say West Coast, I am never talking about California. I am talking about the West Coast of Florida. We were at the beach. It's beautiful, kind of turquoise. We went to a beach. I think it's called Cascadia or something to that effect. And it is the best area in the world to actually find shark teeth, especially
Megalodons.
Megalodons are found there. Actually, the other day, this guy was with his family, and they got a pretty big megalodon tooth, which is pretty cool. Shingles, here it is. Here it is, Mark. Here's your answer. We have a pharmacist. This is great. I retired from pharmacy. The answer is yes. Shingles can appear anywhere. I've seen it in the eyes. Ooh, that's nice. So have fun scratching those nuts. Hey, Bamora, welcome to the broadcast. Our guest right now is just shaking his head because he knows. He knows me. So we didn't know if we were going to do this. I did get out of the mental institution, but I still have the band. No, I went to Ringling Brothers Barn and Bailey Circus, the owner's estate, which is just holy crap. Trip down memory lane if you're a kid of our age. And also that dude owned like 80% of Sarasota, Florida. It's insane. But just go check out. Maybe we'll post some videos of what we did. Of this house that he lived in. Was sick. Sick place. Great place for a music video. Mark, how are you today?
Doing fine.
Thank you, Mark.
We had the St. Patrick's Day reversal of spring-like weather, and got 3 inches of snow. There was like one snow squall that came through that left a quick inch. And I get all the critters are walking through the backyard. They look like they're moping through the backyard like 5 times a day. They come around with the 3 or 4 of their buddies, and they put on this show like they're starving to death. I just go out there and feed them, and 20 minutes later they are making their rounds back through the yard. It's just pathetic. They're actors.
It's Mark is the Dr. Doolittle of West Virginia, Wheeling, West Virginia.
Yep.
Yeah. So I was just saying hello to everybody that's in chat. Straw Dog, who is back, and I hope he's on the mend. 40 inches snowdrift out front. 40 inches.
Wow.
Yeah, that is insane. Al, put your reading glasses on. So I didn't know if we should have a show today or not, because I was planning on having. We were planning on doing paranormal squares, and we're going to do it. I was talking with Paul about it. I had this idea forever, but so did Paul. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick a date, Paul and I, and we're going to broadcast each channel, and I will host it this year, and then Paul will host it next year. And you in chat, no matter if it's on Third Eye Live or Paranormal Among Us on Paranormal Paul's channel, or any one of the other channels, because we're going to get Blondes and Booze there, Bigfoot Michigan, Rob. Hopefully we can drag Tex out of retirement for a bit. And we're going to do like the Hollywood Squares, but paranormal squares. And you're going to play for prizes. And each one of us is going to pony up. And if you win the game, we will be sending you something anywhere from a sticker to a t-shirt to whatever someone chooses to send your way. So it's going to be fun. And we will pick people randomly I'll pick one from my chat and Paul pick another and so on and so forth. And I'll kind of be in there as well, but also co-hosting with Paul. Each person will bring up their own questions, not you guys in the audience, but we'll give you questions and you ask them and there'll either be an X or an O. So we're looking forward to that. But I did get back in time, and in moment of sanity, when I talked to my buddy here, who's like a brother from another mother, thank you so much for your friendship and your brotherhood, Al. And even Mark's like another brother from another mother. Yes, it is an excellent Bigfoot topic tonight, and I know this is what it is, but I decided I'm going to bring in the guy I go Bigfooting with. For the most part, Stevie couldn't do it, and I would have had him too, because but then we would have moved from Bigfoot to talking about guitars. So let's welcome our special guest. His agent only gave us about an hour from New York, originally the Bronx, Mr. Al Santariga, to the show. There it is.
Never ends. It never ends.
Always.
Hi, Al.
Hey, Mark, Bryan, what's going on, brother?
Speaking of Reinhardt, in the opener of the Bryan and Bowden rap band, Bryan entered the studio. Mr. Santariga is on with another Mr. Santariga, his older brother, Frank, on Chris Reinhardt's American Monsters, if I'm correct. He changed
Real
the name.
American Monsters.
Real American Monsters. You got to go check out the episode. But we're going to try to get Frank and Al and their sister on this show, and we may do a special for this because why not?
My sister's in the chat tonight.
Your sister's in the chat tonight?
Yes, she is.
Okay, I don't know which one you are.
Marilyn.
I don't see it on
she's in there right at the bottom. Okay. Marilyn Aiello.
Oh, there you are. Hi.
She said no way about coming in.
Yes, you are. Come on, please. We'll hook it up so that you won't be on camera. And we'll talk about it. And we'll get you in early so you can get some rest. The grandkids would love it. Come on. You got to do it for the grandkids. We'll talk about that later. Hey, Tennessee, Kentucky Bigfoot. Welcome to the show. Yes, it's been a long time, but you know what? There's so many different shows going on. I love watching Blondes and Booze and a lot of the network. They, Brandy and Randy, pain in the ass, and Donnie Joe, they do Paranormal Show and Tell, and I watch it after our show. So, and they come in and watch, and so that beautiful lady can come in and watch this show. So, hi, beautiful lady, or as Andre the Giant said, hello, lady. Whatever. But something that's really bothering me is the latest controversy. It seems like every fucking place we go that someone always has to do some stupid shit. Pardon the expression. Yeah, I'm gonna curse. I'm really tired of it, and there is some controversy about the Patterson Gimlin film, and there are people that saying it's fake. And here we go. Here, this is it. Come on, let's go. Come on in. We have some wise guys here, but and we're going to talk about it. And just so you know, this is the film. It's only. I said there's no sound to it, and Al's like, I can't hear it, Bryan. I can't. He's busted my chops. So this is I'm going to add it to the stage so people can see. This is just 10 seconds of enhanced footage. So they enhanced, someone took the time to really enhance it. I'm going to take off the stream for a split second. We'll watch it for 10 seconds. And this is the Patty footage. And there she goes. Bye, Patty. So this is what they're all the controversies about the Patty film. And this is your classic Patty image. Now, from what I understand, the son of Roger Patterson is the one. They found it in a vault, some film, and it exposes everything that you know, that it's a hoax and that it's a costume and so on and so forth. I haven't seen the film. I don't think anybody's seen the film just yet. I think the guy that has the film or created a movie, I think, like Capturing Bigfoot, I think it's called. He's trying to find a distributor. And I'm just going to speak out of turn, right? We're all going to talk about this out of turn because none of us have seen it. None of us have seen who's in it. Apparently, Jeff Meldrum is in it, which is very important because Jeff, who recently passed away, he spent a lot of time looking at this footage. And he is very versed in anthropology and all the way animals move and everything. And he was swearing up to a point. This is real.
Jeff convinced me in a lecture I attended, and
Really?
speaking with him afterwards, I thought he was a very credible person. I put a lot of faith into what he was saying.
I mean, Al, what's your take on? I'm like, is your faith in Meldrum at all?
Well, I believe Dr. Meldrum. Yeah, I don't think he had anything to gain by saying one way or going one way or the other with it. You know what I mean? Right. I think all of his evidence that he did was on point, especially on what was it called? Big something meets science, whatever it was called.
Yes. Skeptic meets something like that.
Something meets science. I forgot the name. It was a Doug Hychek thing, I think. And
Doug Hychek. That's
but he was, you know, he swore up and down that it was real, and he couldn't find the hoax, and from what I understand, and this is just one man's opinion, the video that they have, or the movie they have, is an old movie from the 80s or 90s that was had to do with Bigfoot, and they showed it at some conference, and Meldrum was there, and they interviewed Meldrum, and Meldrum gave him his opinion. He didn't, whatever he said. I didn't see the movie, but he said, but from what I understand, all of Meldrum's answers in this movie that they're going to show now, has been edited to fit their narrative.
Okay? I've heard that as well.
Okay.
I've heard that as well. And, by the way, Kat Ward from Paranormal Heart is in the chat. Her safe word is pineapple.
Hey, hey, Kat. So I wouldn't take anything that you see in this video or movie or whatever the hell it is with Meldrum in it as what you call truth, because he's not here to defend himself anymore. It's amazing how it happened to come out after he died. You know what I mean? Because he would have defended what he said originally, and it wasn't, what he said wasn't what their narrative is. And, I also hear stories about AI proving that it's real and AI proving that it's fake. And I don't know how AI could prove both at the same time. You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense to me. It's either one or the other. And I've done a little research on this. Not a lot, because I'm not a big researcher guy, but And according to AI, that the AI I used, it hasn't proven it to be either real or a hoax. So, let's throw that out. I think it's all has to do with misinformation. And I think they're just jumbling up the arena. And I think there's when
that money, buddy.
When how do I say this? When the truth comes out about the video, it's going to be very upsetting to a lot of people.
It's going to be mind-blowing.
And it's got nothing to do with it being a hoax or anything like that. That's all I'm going to go. That's all I'm going to say about this, because I was sworn to secrecy. And so that's all I'm going to say. It's going to be very upsetting to a lot of people. And so I think these people are trying to get ahead of the truth, because when Mrs. Patterson passes away, I believe she's still alive.
She's still alive.
And when Gimlin passes away, the truth is coming out.
Well,
and I know of two people who have the original footage. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to name names, but one's in it for the money and one's in it for the truth.
Say it. So
no, I'm not going to say it. But
Bryce just goes, all I'm going to say is they didn't have Bigfoot costumes with boobs back in 1966. That is very important. No, seriously, that is really, really important too.
That's why she's called Patty.
Well, yeah, because she has boobs in the footage. You can actually see them. You can also see in that footage, if you really go back and watch the whole thing, it seems like she is doing a typical mother thing. There's danger. She's got young, and you can see a little Bigfoot pop its head up in the background if you really pay attention. It is not pareidolia. It is another creature, and she's trying to lead these people away. Okay? That's just my 2 cents in that. Was what I
agree
got.
With that. Yeah, I agree with that.
Now, this is going back, and I mean to interrupt you, Al.
But I thought they called her Patty because she was Irish.
Yeah, it was, because
it
happened in St. Patrick's Day. Yeah. Danny boy. But yeah, she was Irish. She had a green coat. She's going to the pub. But there are numerous scientists, real people. Their job is they get videos, they get everything, and they watch it. There are way too many scientific things taking place with this creature that humans cannot replicate. Muscle movement, the movement itself of this female, 70-degree angle when it lifts up, it's like, we don't do that. Now, imagine having, I don't know if you've ever had, have you ever dressed up in costume for anything, like costume party or whatever, like the old school costumes where it was like, you got to be, you're talking about plaster and something probably about 100 pounds, maybe close to it, on your shoulders, plus your own body weight. And that's they've even tested it. What Patty is at least 7 feet tall. I think she was around 7 feet tall. The guy that says, I forgot his name, that he was the guy in the suit, he's like a short, portly guy. He's not 7 feet tall. And if you're walking on that type of terrain, like boom, like a tightrope, boom, boom, left, right over, really tight. We don't walk that way. I don't care how many times you've walked it and practiced and practiced and practiced. You're going to trip and fall. You're going to get to a point you can't, and then it steps over something at the end. I just don't buy it, on it. And you were talking about, like, I know some people that are connected to Bob. I can't mention names, just like Al can't, and I won't. But I know the type of individuals they are, and they would sell their own children to make a buck. I'm being truthful. And some of them are still involved in Bigfoot related stuff right now. And there's even claims currently that in relationship to what they're doing, there's a lot of trickery and tomfoolery. Why don't they call it tomfoolery? But whatever.
But the when the Patterson Gimlin film was made in what
66 or
77.
67.
67.
Okay, there wasn't the AI. You really couldn't Photoshop a handheld 8mm camera from that time.
Mark, very interesting. You don't take film of Bigfoot that close with cameras without shaking like crazy, and you don't get Bigfoot to walk in front of your tripod. They were on horseback. And
they actually got thrown.
Yeah, and they got thrown, and they got off. That's where. See, the problem is we don't see the first.
Yeah,
whatever.
They never show the whole thing. Just Patty walking away. Yeah,
and then all they get is that one little spot. I want to see the little bit of the beginning of it, and to a certain degree, I understand that because Al here, the big ragu, the big cannoli, he studied photography. My dad was a professional photographer. Okay. I know people in the film industry, cinematographers. I know a ton of these people. I also know I went to a specialized high school before all this craziness, and the things you could do with film, especially older film. We found film that was from the 50s and the 60s. And it was good. It was still good, sealed up. We put it in a camera and we made a film. And if you go back and look at that film and you were to date it, it would go back to the 50s or the 60s. So who's to say a filmmaker had extra film and someone said, let's try to fake, let's make another movie and we'll release it way back when, after, and this could be, or someone in the family did it now, went out, filmed it, and then it's on film. That is dates back to the same time frame. It's been done before. I just want to point out something, Hillbilly Herb. A lot of folks saying that the suit technology was just wasn't that good back then. It wasn't. Maybe with enough money and time, I guess, but I believe she's a bona fide forest person. I tend to agree with Hillbilly on that right there.
Yeah. Well, when they did Fact Meets Science, whatever the show was called, they brought in the costume guy from Planet of the Apes. Okay, and he said that even the stuff they had, like at the Planet of the Apes,
yeah,
that wasn't as good as what we were seeing on film. He says there's no way in the late 60s they could have replicated that with the muscle movement. And as Meldrum said, I think Meldrum pointed out that the creature had an injury on one leg and stuff like that. He said there's no way we could have faked that.
But I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead, Mark. I'll shut up now.
Oh, I was just I'm agreeing with Al that was one of the very convincing points that Dr. Meldrum made when I attended one of his lectures. You don't see, if someone's wearing a costume, you're not going to see like the bicep moving, the leg muscles, and you have the bouncing boobs as well. There it is. In the
bouncing boobs are great.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
we're
He
all
said,
men
you
here.
yeah,
Sorry.
you just you um, yeah, obviously, it's a costume where,
Hey, Daryl.
yeah, you're not seeing the zipper down the back, but if it's a costume, you wouldn't have such, clearly defined, muscles,
Yep.
muscle movement. So, you know, you have to kind of get into this is authentic.
I mean, again, considering that the top of the line special effects for the time period was Planet of the Apes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was not inexpensive to do, by the way.
Oh, no, that was
Now,
big budget.
Even the monkeys in 2001, which was only, it was filmed probably maybe before. That was a lengthy. That was filmed over 2 or 3 years. The monkeys from the Kubrick's movie weren't as realistic as Patty.
right. And don't get me wrong. I mean, if these guys intended to go out and fake something, but in the process they encountered something, that would be more legit for me than this what's being sold, trying to be sold now. Here's another thing. So from what I understand, Patterson's son is the one that said he found the footage, told his mom, I'm telling the truth. And his mom got pissed and she says some nasty things about him apparently on the film because she's making a ton of money off the royalties, licensing of it. She makes a ton of it. And here's the problem. People don't think. If it turns out to be a fake film, that woman owes a lot of money back to people because it's sold on the premise that it's real. Okay. Once you get lawyers involved, it doesn't matter how much money someone makes. This woman's getting screwed, and she got screwed apparently over her child as well. So that's another interesting angle. Don't get me wrong. Again, people, it's like what's happening in the paranormal right now. There are people out there now claim to see werewolves. Yep, shape-shifting werewolves. And again, I'm not going to discredit somebody. People believe what they believe, but shape-shifting werewolves are a Hollywood concoction. That's what it is. And if there is a slight moment for somebody to try to, gain some fame or game the system, they're going to do it. I mean, we've had Al and I had a couple of experiences where we're talking about legit stuff that we've seen and we've encountered. The dog man is not a shapeshifter, in my opinion. But people seeing werewolves, I don't buy it. Or I'm going to do what Al does here because I have it. Al would say,
I'm calling bullshit.
there it is. I'm calling bullshit. So,
well, all I got to say about the Patty film is that the film is 60 years old, and they still haven't been able to debunk it. In 60,
exactly.
if you can't debunk it in 60 years, then what does that got to tell you? That it's probably legit. You know what I mean? I would bet 99.9% of that it's a legit film. When the very first time I seen it was when I was 10 years old, I said that was the real deal. I got a vibe off of that video when I seen that creature in that video, and I just knew it was real then, and I know it is real today, and it's just too many people have examined it. They've gone over it with fine-tooth combs and X-rays, and it hasn't been debunked. It's been 60 years. That's a lifetime.
And we're talking about real scientists looking at the muscle movement. I mean, once they cleaned up that, they cleaned it up, but they've looked at the original footage and then they've looked at the enhanced footage. I mean, I could run it again for everybody, but you could just go search it. It's a longer footage on that reel. That whole reel is available. I think it's like 7 minutes, if I'm correct. And I remember when I did a movie called Godzilla the Search in high school. I didn't want to pay. You either take a test, write a paper, or do a movie for a final grade. So I had a 6-foot blow up Godzilla doll, and we did Godzilla the Search. I had a Super 8 camera, and it was a search for beer and cigarettes. He finds it at the end. We put it to Blue Oyster Cult's Godzilla. It was great. And when you're working with real film, it's either start or stop. So it's not like in today's where there's adjusting for shake or anything like that. And people that got used to it really took good shots. And if you actually watch the original film, it's not as clear as you'd think. If you watch the original, it's been stabilized over time and then enhanced. So what you're looking at
is so far away from the original image. Right. Yeah, forget about it.
So that's one of those things right there. In my opinion, Bob, they say on film that Bob wanted to admit that it was fake, but he was pissed at Patterson and the family and another individual family member who was screwing people over. There's a lot of money stuff going on in the background. Okay. So there is, you definitely have a motive to do something to generate revenue. But how did they get it? I've seen this creature in person, and Patty that's what I've seen. I think we saw a couple females. Well, I did way back, but not as clear as this footage. But we all know what breasts look like. We all know what, genitalia look like. And people are reporting this creature over and over again. And when asked, they said it looks like that Patty film. That's what it looks like. A costume. I mean, I've seen this costume that they have.
Brian's got one of the costumes.
Yeah, I do. I have a costume. I have a Bigfoot costume over here
that he wears on Halloween every year.
Jack Link. That's it. But the facial features, the muscle movement, we did not have that technology. Now, if you did it today, sure. Well, what happened is you'd be in a latex bodysuit. A big human being would be like my friend Dave Ferrigno that comes on. You'd be in a latex bodysuit that would capture all every muscle movement. Then you put some hairs in it and it would look real. And then you can do it. No, I'm sorry, Kat. I don't wear anything female every weekend. Pineapple, by the way. Yeah. You dirty girl, you. And we have another Super 8 user in high school as well. Yeah. This is a good question. This is great for Mark J. Cog. How do you tell someone that Bigfoot is telepathic and talked to you between your ears and told you to go to the Mind Kill Trail where you walked 100 yards and you heard a loud knock 100 feet behind you close to the road? This is my point. I've yet to have the telepathic, mind speak, I guess some people call it. I don't know if Al has.
I have.
Yeah.
On one occasion, absolutely.
Yeah. So I just get this. I work on it. I operate differently, where I'm picking up. I just know they're there. Yes, I do, Amy. I did pick up my daughter from school wearing a Bigfoot costume. And the kids today would just call it a monkey. And look at that giant monkey. So I believe in the telepathic communication of it, yet to have it. And let's go to Bigfoot, Michigan Rob again. He had an incident with a Bigfoot. He kept certain things out like you're supposed to. And he had someone on who had telepathic communication and told him that she's in contact with his Bigfoot that he had an encounter with, and he apologized to them. That wasn't his intent, and told him something, a certain element that was there that Rob did not talk about. And Rob, it blew his mind, because unless you were at that location, you would not know about a specific thing that he purposely left out. So I believe in the telepathy. I believe humans can talk to other humans telepathically, all the time. And
what was telepathy part of the
Patty?
The story after the sighting of Patty?
I don't know that Patty had anything. I don't believe.
I don't know if I've heard that either.
Yeah. I'm going to Digger Dog. I don't think there was anything telepathic about it. See, here's the problem, right? My personal opinion is the Patty footage is the best evidence for Bigfoot or these creatures, whatever they want, called Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Salbei, whatever, ever captured. And there's so many reasons for it. If you've been researching it, there's so many reasons for it. And if you understand, like, I was flesh and blood until Al and I had a great encounter in 2015, which I think we've talked to death about over time. And when you don't go from point A to point B in an instant, unless you can kind of do something on a quantitative scale, open up a portal, go in and step out. That's how quick it was. It was a split freaking second. And everything changed. And if you take in that concept of quantum mechanics and go to Ron Moorhead's book, Quantum Bigfoot. Because as soon as I saw that, I got on the phone with Ron. And I'm like, you realize I've been writing my notes down. This is what happened with me in the situation, and you just came out. I'm still writing. But it proves everything that we're talking about in research wise, in my opinion. It started at one point where someone came up. These people come out of the fucking woodwork. Oh, there's a witness to LBL. Bullshit.
No, it's not. Yeah, no, it's
bullshit.
not.
Okay, if one of these dogmen creatures went absolutely ballistic, they ain't leaving nobody alive.
Yeah, there was a lot of witnesses after the fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. There's no LBL. Then they said that there was a Bigfoot slaughter over by the where Patty's footage was taking place, and that's why it was running away or walking away. And there's no proof of that either. And when that didn't work, now they're going, it's all a hoax. And they're going to show you a film, right? And when you mentioned Meldrum and the edit, I knew about that. And I'm thankful that you did that, because all you got to do is, there's so much Meldrum footage. You can clone his voice, his everything, his cadence, inflections, infractions, and everything. And you can have Jeff Meldrum say whatever the fuck you want to say. This is what I do with Al. He doesn't realize, but I do
Oh,
it.
yes, he
I go
does.
on the OnlyFans pages. I'm like, my name's Al. You know, no, only joking. But you can do this with anybody. Actually, I forgot who it was, but one of our guests had a conversation, did an interview with somebody, and it was all AI. How about that? So if you could do that, and then you could use old footage and just piece together some things, and you get people that are swearing up and down it was fake. You got yourself $1 million, or we're going to say that about $1 million.
It's a little suspicious. The timing is suspicious that
Yeah, man.
all of a sudden this story comes out, what, about the same time as the multiple sightings of Bigfoot making its their way across northeastern Ohio. What is there a connection between the was it something like 10 Bigfoots were sighted, and the controversy over a 60-year-old film? So what's going on there? Are they independent stories, or is it just some way to perpetuate?
Well, I mean, I know Jeremiah, and he's a Bigfoot Society, and all these reports coming into the Bigfoot Society. He's a legit guy. He's not bullshit. He's a really, really great guy, great researcher. So I think people are actually seeing. I was talking about it on Spaced Out Radio with Dave Scott. I think if these Bigfoot, and they're multiple sizes, so I'm thinking it's a clan or a pod, and it's a family, and if they're going out during daylight hours, which is really odd for me, and they're going on highways and public roads. I mean, there was one point, a 6 foot, 6 and change, was so close to a car, the little girl in the car could have touched it. If that's taking place, then that says to me, in my opinion, something bad's happening, and they're vacating the area, or they're on an emergency run. I don't know about you, Al. I mean, what would you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I know they have those mass sightings of Bigfoots in Ohio.
Yeah.
I would say if they're getting out of Dodge, something is either has happened, is happening, or is going to happen. But it's not as simple as a migration, because if that was the case, you would see them every year.
Yep.
So it's more complicated than that.
Did they have a sense that meteor was going to be crashing into northern Ohio a couple days later after the migration started? There's just kind of a lot going on at one time.
Yep. Isn't it convenient?
Yeah.
I mean, here.
I'm calling bullshit.
I'm going to use it all the time. I'm just calling bullshit. I got to call bullshit. I think there's a lot of bullshit taking place, but, I mean, we won't know, now everybody's going to have to go and see it and pay their, $15, $20 to go watch this movie.
I'm out. I don't need to see it.
No.
I've seen enough Bigfoots in my life that I don't have to go pay to the movies to sit down to see one. And I know where I could go and see one for real anytime I want.
The last one I saw was staring at me through the passenger side of my car. So, I mean, that's pretty fucking close. And he was big. And it's unnerving. I mean, I just don't buy it. I can't buy it. And it's not because I don't want it to be a hoax. There's too many variables here. It's kind of like, I'm going to get myself in trouble. It's kind of like flat Earth. Okay. No, I'm going to, the ideas and the concepts are coming out. I'm like, okay, that's interesting. And that's interesting. But you're going to tell me that since the beginning of technology, they've been faking it and keeping it quiet. It would take too much energy, effort, and everything to agree to that. Somebody would open their freaking mouths a long time ago. I mean, I don't believe the Earth's flat. I believe it's like egg shaped, but that's a different story, but people are saying it's just a flat plane. I mean, if it was flat, anybody that had a cat would be pushing shit off the edge of the Earth anyway.
Absolutely.
That's what would happen. But there are people, even in chat, that have had encounters with these creatures. They're not crazy. A lot of the stuff that comes out, and people think these people are nuts. They're talking to Bigfoot. Yes, people talk to freaking Bigfoot.
If you're lucky. If you're lucky. Doesn't happen to everybody.
No.
I mean, I know world-renowned psychics who's never had a telepathic communication with any cryptid. Not one cryptid, but right. That's not their world either. But you would think these people are world-renowned psychics that if they wanted to, they could tap in, but it just doesn't happen, They pick who they want to associate with and who they want to talk to. And it's not something that happens overnight. You know what I mean? So,
tell me about it.
This is
a while.
Yeah, you're talking about years and years and years of researching and experiencing and just a lot of little things. Communications, just a lot of little things going back.
Interaction. He used to go to a track near his house, and he would put things down, usually cat toys. I don't think you don't do food. I don't think
I don't do food. No.
You don't want to do food because I'll tell you what, if you don't bring food to my fucking house after you've been feeding. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm just going to put this up for 2 seconds, but he's used cat toys, and then it went to strings, and then it went to other things. And then the Bigfoot was gifting him back stuff. One of the coolest things he got gift back was, I think, a tortoise shell with 3 moles in it.
3 dead moles, yeah.
Yeah. And then he would take pictures of the area, and I'm the one sitting in, and I'm like, here, I'm circling it. And one of them was sitting up on top of the hill watching him do it. They know exactly who he is. They know who I am. And this is why when I've been to, other areas, I will tell, I can't explain it to you how I know it, but they know who I am and they welcome me. I just came from the West Coast over to the East Coast of Florida, and we went through a very large state forest that we use over there. That is one of our grounds. And in the field, totally different road. I'd never been on this road. There was something that was really big on all fours, and it had a very brown or a chocolatey brown, coat to it. And it did move a little bit. And it wasn't one of the cows in the field at all. It was hairy. And it wasn't a bear that I'm aware of. But I can't just stop. It was off in a distance, and it was large enough for me to take notice. And I just wanted it so that my daughter, I had your buddy in the car with me. I wanted that sucker to go across the road so she could go, holy crap, because she swears like a sailor.
Yeah, she does.
She does, but she's cute. But
yes, she is.
Yeah, she is. She's my shotgun on a lot of things. Trust me. But we don't do that. But when I go to investigations, and I've done them in Missouri, I've done them here, I've done them from Canada all the way down. I'm the one that's getting. They know my tent. I guess they know my smell, my Wi-Fi signal, whatever my signal is, and they're throwing little things at me. Acorns that don't even exist in the area. They're getting them someplace else, and they're tossing them at me. So
yeah, and they're famous for bringing stuff into areas that don't exist in that area, and people, look for stuff like, where did this come from? And there's nothing in the area that matches what they've brought in. Where are they bringing it in from, and how far away are they carrying it? It's mind-boggling. When you get into it.
This is great. Thanks for this, Diane. And I know about what you're talking about. It's been said a doctor from Forks, Washington, delivered Bigfoot babies back in the 80s. I watched the show about it. Yeah, you did send it to me. There is reports, but here's the problem. Whenever I see stuff like that, and it's no offense to you, Diane, I love these stories, but I get that Weekly World News vibe. Bat Boy and stuff like that. But if you watch Men in Black, that's where some of the truth comes out. Seriously, it's just what it is. Ask Al. Yeah, I know about what happened in your house. That was Al's first encounter with the big.
Yeah, that's too much to get into here tonight.
Way too much.
Way too much.
It's Bigfoot, Michigan Rab. We got a Bigfoot. We got a Bigfoot sighting in chat. There he is. Bigfoot Michigan Rob's here. Hey, Rob.
Hi, Rob.
Hey, Rob.
Check out Bigfoot Michigan Rob and beyond. Subscribe, like. I think everybody in here is subscribes, likes to everything. Blondes and Booze, Paranormal Among Us, Paranormal Paul. All these shows and Bigfoot Michigan Rob and Jen show. What is Paranormal Newfoundland podcast? Please, we're trying to get her numbers up so she can start filming to that as well. She's going to put some really great videos on that one. So subscribe to it. I don't have the links ready because StreamYard has been really sucko lately. But his encounter in Florida is in the BFRO, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Right?
And if you read the articles at the end of the BFRO eyewitness account, the person who interviewed me for it posted like 20 or 30 different newspaper articles of the skunk ape at that time. And I think somewhere in there is even an article where a local sheriff brought a baby Bigfoot to a hospital or something to that effect.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, it's just mind-boggling, all the stuff that she put into my account and everything, but just above and beyond the call of duty, and all the newspaper articles. When I seen all the articles at the end of the witness account, I read all the articles. You
gotta read everything.
Yeah, have to. Yeah.
And here's the thing: you can have. Apparently, Patterson was a big researcher in Bigfoot, wrote a book on it, whatever. Yeah, was that before or after? And was he capturing, he was making a good living on the fame of it. Why would you come out with a hoax video? I mean, there's legal action that could, go please. Thank you, Rob. Go check out Blondes and Booze, like, subscribe. It makes a great Easter gift. So does Jen's Paranormal Newfoundland, and all the wrenches in chat can please throw up links to everybody's channel. I do appreciate it. There's people that have these experiences with these cryptids before the internet and before the craziness, and you gotta go back to a lot of people here can go back to those time frames. We didn't have, no one had a cell phone on them. No, maybe a beeper, and it would be like whatever the codes were to like meet me over here, or I'm cutting out, or see you, whatever it is. But no one was spending $2-3 a minute on a phone to say I'm reporting a Bigfoot sighting. No one would report a Bigfoot sighting. But the sightings and the experiences and the interactions with this creature match Patty. And that is not only from the layperson who really has no skin in this game versus the people that are researchers in the field. Al, myself, Mark, different field, but he's doing something a little bit differently. We have seen these things up close and personal. It's Patty. I mean, I think there's differences in the faces. Personally, there's at least 9 variants of this creature throughout, and that's not even the skunk ape in Florida, which is more baboon. I do not want to see a skunk ape. They are very aggressive. So I'm my luck, I'll bump into one.
But let's just say the Patty footage is a hoax. What about all the other evidence, such as the
Footprints?
casts of the footprints? What about all the Lascaux cave, drawing, from 20,000 years ago, and they have, the woolly mammoths and all the other weird critters that are, immortalized on the walls. You get some of the native petroglyphs of animals that kind of accurate, seem like they're accurate depictions, but
Right.
what are they? What about some of the animals in the Bible?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff that is documented that we're still scratching our heads about. So it was, if you don't talk about a bear or a giraffe, does that mean you're going to be labeled a hoaxer?
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, if someone has an experience and they're revealing their experience to you or telling you about it, and they believe they saw what they believe they saw, it's not your choice or your responsibility to say, no, you didn't. You can't tell somebody what they've had an experience with. Okay. What would be great is, this is why Al and I, when we go out, Al's always bringing fucking people with us. And I'm like, I don't want to be responsible for them, but you bring third, fourth parties. Women are great because they always smell good. And depending on, I'm going to be brutally honest, they cycle. So there's a certain other enhancer there to draw some attraction in. And we let them know about this stuff too, by the way. We ask them, are you, I know it's a personal question. I got 3 females right in this house. I don't want, one of them, God, is not right now, but she's going to be pure evil when she does. But you need to understand, because that alone poses a very big risk for everybody in the party. Okay. I mean, I don't want to talk for Al, but there was a time he had 2 women there, and some of the younger ones, what were they, monkey barking, right? And they were following out.
Yeah, it was insane. Yeah, I never heard anything like that in the woods before. Just monkey barking, jumping up and down, slapping the road. You could feel the vibration coming up the road, going up your legs. The barking was going through you. The woods was just echoing. It was just totally insane. And man, if I didn't nip that in the bud right when I did, I think these creatures, all three of them would have came charging down the road, and all three of us would have been dead at some point.
Yeah. But see, there's Bigfoot, and then there's Italian Foot, who's down here in the chat right here, and he's like, "Cut it out," you know. But there's enough of a interaction with these creatures and our spot, the spot. They know, like, you're standing up, and you know there are certain things that males will do for females, and they know. They may be very aggressive in trying to challenge, but he stood up for him. Hey, Cisco lady, love you to death. It's good to see you. Yep. And she called her something about a werewolf, and it was just hysterical. And she says we're not using her for bait. Maybe we will. No, I'm joking. Yes. But I mean, like, so there's so many variables here, and I'm kind of like, I don't know if I want to see this film, because I just want to get.
I'm not going to watch it. I don't want to watch it. I'm not going to watch it. I already know. I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
I know
that an Italian Bigfoot.
I know these creatures exist. I don't need someone to tell me. I don't have to. I'm not trying to prove anything anyway. That's why I don't put any of my stuff out there anymore for the world to see. I keep it all to myself. I'm not trying to prove anything to anybody. I could care less if people believe me, if they don't believe me. I've taken enough people out to our location, and they've all had experiences, and they've all walked. Like the time I took the two women out, they were like, okay, we crossed this off our bucket list, and they said, now we'll never go into the woods ever again, not even for a picnic, you know. Like, so I mean, you know, and you know, and I don't even consider that a violent interaction. I just think it was a bunch of youths who got a little excited. That's it, you know. I've been going there for 15 years. I've never been injured. You know what I mean? I've never been hurt, and I'm still walking out of there every spring and fall, and still have my interactions, and you know, everything is good. I mean, whether it doesn't matter who I bring, even if their energy is bad. I mean, if their energy is bad, then it's probably not going to be an exciting night. You know what I mean? But if their energy is good, then it's going to be a great night. You know,
right.
So
and it doesn't hurt that you bring them cannolis and you know, some coffee.
Yeah, cannolis and cheesecake. Yeah, that's what they want. Cannolis and cheesecake.
Cannolis and cheesecake.
Yeah.
But
espresso.
Espresso. What is Zambuca?
You gotta have the Zambuca if you're gonna have the espresso.
You see the Sasquatch is picking up a really small stuff. But Rob, Bigfoot Michigan Rob, brings up a great point. Next is a beautiful film. Probably it looked at it just as much, and it has. My dad used to work for Wild World Photos, professional photographer. He used to bring me home all these photos. I studied that photo like it was, you know, everything. I had the magnifying glass, and it was good images they sold, because they would sell on behalf of people the licensing agreement. And I will tell you without a doubt in my mind, and I can remember it, Patty's 100% real. That is not a human being. Human beings aren't that wide, that thick, you know, they just aren't, you know, whatsoever. And it's really interesting. Cisco lady, she had, you know, her Bigfoot had huge lips, and there's big differences to these different. She's got a great story. We got to get you on, Cisco. But there's huge differences in people's eyewitness account, where there's a lot of consistency, but there are little nuances that are different, but also verified by other third parties that don't know each other. You know what you understand? So I'm with Al. I don't want to, you know, kill him with keeping him here, because his parole officer wants him to get back. But, you know, but Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to see this film. I still believe. I'm really pissed off because I know a couple people that are definitely involved in this shit, and these people are just absolute pieces of shit.
Yeah, thank
Sorry,
you.
I'm going
Thank
to
you very
say it.
much. Yeah,
I'm
thank you very much.
going to say
Yeah.
it. They're absolute pieces of garbage, and I just know it. I know that they egg people on, and I know Gimlin. He's being taken advantage of. The man can't even hear. He's like 93, 4, or 6, something like that.
Yeah, he's up there. Absolutely. Yeah.
And too many coincidences, too much, editing, too much this, that. People can't defend themselves. No, I can't. I can't do that. It just doesn't work for me. I don't know. Well, I'm sorry. Mr. Santariga, before you go, can you tell people where they can find you and what you've
No,
got?
I got time. I can hang out a little bit
Okay.
longer. Yeah.
All right. Let's put this Bigfoot to death. By the way, we're gonna have a
But I got to just say one thing.
sure.
There's a lot of Bigfoot videos out there today, and 90% of the really, really good ones have not been seen by the general public. They keep them close to the vest, and I've seen a few that would just blow your mind. I mean, absolutely blow your mind. And there's just no, there's no way this stuff has been hoaxed, because a lot of these videos, believe it or not, are 20 years old, and the people who took them aren't even around anymore. You know what I mean? They've passed them on to other people, and these people are the ones who are putting them out there, and they're only putting them out to certain people. You know what I mean? And when you see this stuff, it's just mind blowing. Everybody compares everything to the Patty footage because everybody's seen the Patty footage. But believe me, there's stuff out there that is much better than the Patty footage. Much better, much clearer, and I mean, just amazing stuff. Just absolutely amazing. And but I like everybody else, I always compare everything to the Patty footage too, because that was the original one. But there's stuff out there, people. Believe me, there's stuff out there.
Al, are there patterns of not releasing convincing footage in today's world? I mean, sometimes you people pointing out, okay, this video is released when the person only has no other YouTube videos. This video was posted and the YouTube account was created today, and nothing is has been posted since then. It seems like there are some clues that you can learn about the poster, and something like that seems pretty fake. But what are some traits of people who are or have footage today that make them believable?
Mark, I think that was the case 10 years ago, where people would post one thing and then disappear, and you never hear another thing from them. I think today it's just the opposite. I think with YouTube and everybody trying to make a buck on YouTube and everything else, and getting on all these podcasts and getting into symposiums, and I think the fakers, and I'm going to call it out, like Bryan calls stuff out, People like Roger, who swears he was at the LBL when when his family was killed, who was absolutely totally full of shit. Okay, he's screaming it from the top of the mountains now. They do just the opposite now. They scream it from the top of the mountains, and they barrage people, and
Threaten.
some people are fooled by the bullshit. You know what I mean? Other people aren't, and then and then you get the divides. You can't say anything bad about this guy over here because then all of these people attack you, and and it's just. I think it's just the opposite today than it was 10 years ago. 10 years ago, you may get a guy who'll post something and say, this is real footage of whatever, and then go away and never see him again. But I think back in the day, going back 20 years, 25 years ago, people didn't post stuff because they didn't want to be ridiculed. They didn't want to be torn apart. You know what I mean? And just made an ass out of because of something they've seen or they experienced. Nowadays, it's just the opposite. So if you hear people standing, screaming from the top of the mountain, look at me, look at me, look at me, look, they're probably full of shit. You know what I mean? And I mean, Bryan and I, we get gut feelings. We see red flags all over the place. You know what I mean? And I don't. We used to call it out all the time. I don't call it out anymore. I think Bryan still calls it out more than me. But I'll reach out to people privately and say, "Hey, what's your opinion on this, or what's your opinion on that?" And I won't tell them what I'm seeing. Tell me what you're seeing, and then I'll tell them all the red flags I've seen. And I've had people over the years say, "Wow, I didn't notice that. I didn't notice this." And by the time I finish pointing out all the red flags, they're like, "You know what? I changed my mind. You're absolutely right." But it comes down to knowledge and being experienced and stuff like that.
Yeah. And another thing before you go, Mark, Al and I always have these private conversations that I wish we could record because we'd have like 1 billion subscribers because we just say shit like it is, but and we don't. We're very proper and polite. We're not fighting a war. Too many people having wars online, unless you saved my life or Al's life in a rice paddy in Vietnam. I'm not getting involved with your shit. I respect. We agree to disagree, and I will be friends with who I want to be friends with. If you have a problem with it, then don't be friends with me. Go ahead, Mark. Sorry.
Oh, I wanted to agree with Al about the different approaches people have. There's you can see that in certain groups of people who are just going to shout you down in today's world if you say certain things. But when I attended the hour and a half lecture that Dr. Meldrum made, just up on the hill here, he's I don't know, probably watched the Patty film 20 times, but he's also doing the slow motion, watching full speed, slow motion, frame by frame, pause. He's walking you through the however many what was it, 70 seconds or something like that. That's where he's pointing out okay, the bouncing boobs. That's how we know it's
female.
A female. Maybe there are the little ones somewhere in the area. the muscle tone, just like when you walk, your muscles are going to somehow move that would be covered by a costume. So there he is, the whole time, the 50 people in the room, and you're just sitting there with the little remote control. Okay, now look at this. Now, okay, let's look at it at normal speed. Let's slow it down. He makes a convincing case, and he can relate it to your experience. Okay.
Yep.
Er, half the guys in the room are like, yeah, I do check out the boobs, and they are bouncing like the ones I see all the time at the beach. I mean, it's just that's just part of you can't help but to see that in the clip that Bryan has shown.
I will tell you, we live in such a Jesus legal society and way now that these people that are coming out with this, they better fucking cross their T's and dot their I's, because frankly, and we don't know, because we don't know the contracts and whatever and what's going on with stuff. But if they messed around with Meldrum and whatever, and I was his estate, I'd sue the fuck at everybody.
But I'm just saying,
I'm gonna tell you straight up.
He was a college professor.
Yeah.
I thought he presented all the information, or, made his case with facts, which most college professors are going to do. I don't know how you. I'm not trying to dispute him. I'm agreeing with him that he analyzed the footage enough with the screen, or the film blown up, things like that.
Right. So he put his professional reputation on the line.
Yeah.
His entrance into this subject matter validated the Bigfoot as something legit without even having one.
I think one of the biggest things he said to prove that these things exist is not that the footprints were there. We've always had footprints, and people have faked footprints, but the thermal ridges in some of the footprints.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. You're not going to fake those thermal ridges. You're just not. Yeah, I mean, and I think, and you're right, Mark. The way he breaks it down, and he from frame to frame and moment to moment, and explains every little thing that's going on. It's hard to deny, what he's saying isn't fact. It is.
That's why I can't disprove what he said at the lecture I attended, and even talking with him a little bit afterwards. He took time out of his. I just really appreciate that. If it's someone like Dr. Meldrum, meeting some of the bands after a show, and just having a chance to tell someone, I've been listening to you for the last 45 years. It's just a real thrill to meet you, and you got all these people behind you. You only have 20 seconds to talk to them, but it's nice to be able to say that to someone. And he came off as a very personable person, believable. I did not, I really can't say anything bad about him.
I'll tell you, I met him at Ocala on the great Bigfoot conference. He stayed at the same hotel as me, and there were a few moments where I had a conversation with him, and I asked him if I could contact him about certain things that I want to throw his way and get his take on it. And he says, no problem, and I didn't get a personal number for Jeff. He did, whatever, but there was, he told me the route to take to get to him. And he was very personable. He was really a nice guy. Like, is he making money off of, he's the science guy that's he gets paid to be on these shows, which he's not getting the 200 or 400 or scale. He's getting like 10 grand to appear. They're paying for everything or more. Okay.
Well, he's also college professors are well paid.
Yeah, they are. And, when you put your reputation and your career on the line by commenting on this subject matter, that's huge in general.
Yeah.
So I believe Meldrum, but again,
I've heard Meldrum speak a million times, and I've never found any red flags in any of his conversations. You know what I mean? Nothing, never drew a red flag as far as I was concerned.
Yeah. So I mean, but again, if they were cutting up the footage just to get that soundbite that they wanted, I mean, we've seen this before. We were worried about it when we were
doing it on the nightly news every night. You know what I mean? So I mean,
it's they take out the 5 seconds previous to the event, and then it looks like it's a racial incident, or they take out 10 seconds worth of it, and it looks like people going crazy. You know what? It's all how you edit it.
Edit to your narrative, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, I still believe that we're gonna have people in the Patty's real versus Patty's fake.
Yeah, this is never gonna go away now. You know what I mean? It's just starting up all the bullshit all over again. That's all it is. And it's gonna divide. It's gonna divide the Bigfoot class, just like the flesh and blood and the apers and the woos, and you know what I mean? So just something to always keep us divided and fighting between us, and it's never going to change. And that's why
this is one of the
it's one of the reasons I just stop putting any of my shit out there on YouTube and just keeping it all to myself, because I got nothing to prove to anybody. But every time I go out, not really knowing what to expect, I always have an oh my God moment, you know what I mean? And and even after all these years, I'm still having these oh my God moments, and it just keeps me going. Yeah.
Yeah. It's there's a lot of stuff that I was asked, Dave Scott, who's coming on. Oh, dude, April's going to be a killer month. May's going to be great too. We have a great guest. And we're doing some side shows because we're supposed to get Natalie Smearman in, and she's going to come back at the end of the month. And then we got also Marilyn Bass. But there are things that I've seen, and I've met people that have evidence. And the biggest question is we'll propose it right here. You have definitive proof of Bigfoot, his existence. Definitive proof. You can physically have one. What are you doing with it, or who are you telling and showing? Let's go with Al first, because I don't think
I'm not telling anybody, and I'm not showing anything to anybody. Keeping it to myself. I've already dealt with the Men in Black. I'm not dealing with that shit again. Absolutely not. No way.
You know what? I could take you exactly to the place where we were over there in the storage unit, and you were white as a ghost.
No, absolutely no. I'm not going down that road again. I'll keep it to myself. Look, if these creatures didn't exist, okay, I'm going to wrap it up with this. If these creatures didn't exist, why is there a federal law on the books stating if you kill one of these creatures in a federal park, it's $100,000 fine and 10 years in jail, non-negotiable? Okay. If these creatures didn't exist, why is it written in the guidebook to the Forest Rangers guidebook that if one of these things come into a campsite, this is what you do? They wouldn't have all of this literature in these books. They wouldn't have laws to protect something that doesn't exist. They wouldn't have written all of this stuff in a guidebook for forest rangers if they didn't exist. Why would you print that stuff up? Why would you create those laws? You wouldn't. And on that, I'm going to say good night.
No, you're not going to say. We're all going to say goodnight because we've beat this subject to death. To be honest, I want to thank you very much, Al Santariga.
Yes, Santariga.
Santariga.
Oh, I got the YouTube update for you too.
Okay.
That notification came in.
Yeah, I would keep videos and pictures of myself. This is from Rob. If I got the capture, said to say, yeah, you can only, you could share with some friends. The moment it comes out, someone's going to say AI, or it used to be those photoshopped. Now it's AI. No one's going to believe.
Before that, it was CGI. You know what I mean?
CGI,
So,
whatever it is.
Photoshop, CGI, AI.
Well, yeah, you got that with Forrest Gump, and
yes,
when Forrest was interacting with President Kennedy.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Yeah.
This is my point. When my dad worked for Why World, they went downstairs, and this is the first start of Photoshop. I actually worked on the couple of beta versions of Photoshop before it even came out. I knew about it. We worked on those towers that your computer. It was a multi-million-dollar computer. We had it at high school. But he goes, my dad was just like, this is insane. They took the watch off my wrist and they put it on someone else's wrist. He goes, this is dangerous. He even said it, and it is dangerous. This is where we get problems. But as long as Al and I go out, and we got cannolis, and I drive him nuts, and we seriously, best person in the, he's one of the best guys out there, best buddy, and I don't want to be stuck in a freaking woods. I mean, Stevie's great too, and his crew, the Creature Man Research. But I don't have firearms up in New York State, but it's he didn't lead me to the dog man. Get in the car.
And you never ran away either. So you know what I mean. It's a good man to have in the foxhole with you. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So where you what
pain in the ass, but
I am a fucking pain in the ass. You know it. Get in the car, Bryan. No.
What do you want me to send the check?
No. You don't send me a check. No
PayPal.
PayPal, man. So, are you doing any other interviews? You're going to be appearing?
No, I don't have anything. I have nothing scheduled for it.
No,
nothing scheduled for anything. No,
baptisms. No,
I'm not doing anything. No.
I got to thank Al Santariga, Mark Eddy, everybody in chat. You guys are awesome. There's some new people in chat that were on the Facebook end of it. Please, hey Kim, Facebook's good, but eventually we're phasing Facebook out because I got to be honest, they just suck and it doesn't do anybody good. Come into the Third Eye Live chat, subscribe, become a Third Eye Live tribe member. That's us. We're growing, and this is what we do. We're doing it on X. We're doing it on YouTube. We're going to be moving from Facebook to probably Instagram, or the Al's OnlyFans page. And no, but just so you know, next week is no show. There's an award given to my child. I have to be there because she's my babe and I made her. And I'm responsible, and I will be there for that. So next Wednesday, there is no show. So go out, get yourself something nice to eat, some Italian meal, get yourself a cannoli or two. And then coming up April 1st, and this is not a joke, Nathaniel J. Gillis is going to be here. And Nathaniel, if you've watched him on Wayne and Michelle's show and other shows, the boy the man can talk. He's a great guy, and I've been looking forward to having him on the podcast and the show. And then we're going to follow him up the week later. I mean, we have everybody coming up. The first is Nathaniel Gillis. The 8th is Jilly Marie. She's going to be doing readings. And then we've got Cole's Paranormal is going to be a Cool's Paranormal. All of them are going to be here. It's going to be fun. Then we have the professor himself. The captain's here. Dave Scott's coming on. And hopefully we're going to have John Iden. But we're going to work that with Mark Eddy, and we've got a bunch of people.
Yeah, he's interested.
Yep. Okay, cool. So hopefully, John, then we have Tommy Cullen coming on. We've got a ton of different things. If you want somebody on the show, if you have a story you want to tell, and you want to email Mark and I at thirdeyeliveshow@gmail.com. And we will, tell your story. And if you want to be a guest or you want to see guests, email us there. You can put some comments in there. It's your 8th birthday. Happy birthday. But again, on behalf of Mark Eddy, who I have to buy fucking new headphones, and I'm going to call you tomorrow about that. Al, the big ragu, the big cannoli, the brother from a different mother, aka the Squatch father, although I call him the Pod father. But and myself, we can't thank you enough. If it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be doing this. We'd probably be sane. So anything else, gentlemen, before we say goodbye and we hit the end stream button?
I'll call you tomorrow, bro.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to call you tomorrow.
All right.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Bye, Bryan.
Good night, Mark.
Thank you, everyone.
You, it's always been you. God showed me you. I have been searching decades for you. I found you, I lost you. My heart is broken without you. My soul aches for you. I need you, I want you. My days are filled with you. I've seen the future with you. My home is with you. I have felt the future with you. My nights are filled with you. Love is you. True love is you. My happiness is you. Every past life is with you. My dreams are filled with you. Life is meaningless without you. My future is with you. I will fight for you. I will defend you. I will give up my life for you. Whatever it takes for you. Nothing else matters but you. I love you. I love you. I love you. God showed me you. I have been searching decades for you. I found you, I lost you. My heart is broken without you. My soul aches for you. I need you, I want you. My days are filled with you. I have seen the future with you. My home is with you. I have felt the future with you. My nights are filled with you. Love is you, true love is you. Love is you, true love is you. My happiness is you. Every past life is with you. My dreams are filled with you. Life is meaningless without you. My future is with you. I will fight for you. I will defend you. I would give up my life for you. Whatever it takes for you. Nothing else matters but you. I love you. I love you. Life is meaningless without you. My future is with you.